Risgar Amin, owner of a premier convenience store in Cardiff, has accused the police of doing nothing following a knife attack that he was the victim of. Now, Amin wasn't seriously hurt or killed in the attack, but the attack was caught on CCTV, yet he claims that South Wales police have done nothing and said that police have undertaken no investigation at all. Risgar Amin had finished work at about 11:15 on the 12th of June, closed the store and was walking to his van when two men said to have been in masks appeared. As Amin was getting into his vehicle, he says he was dragged out by the men and then thrown to the ground. Amin was subsequently kicked and punched by the men, as seen on the CCTV footage, before one of the attackers pulls a knife out of the back of his trousers. Now, isn't it a shame that these idiots carrying knives about in their pants don't trip over and impale themselves? I mean, talk about karma. If you had a knife down the back of your pants, tripped over and severed your spinal cord. No sympathy from me. Mr. Amin alleges the attackers threatened to stab him, and though he was uninjured, he believes that if he didn't run away, he would have been killed. Police were called and did attend to the scene, but Mr. Amin says the investigation started and finished that very night. Mrs. Amin said they went to look around to see if they could see anybody, and that was the end of it. No statement was taken off my husband, nothing at all. We're 4 months into it and a statement hasn't even been taken off my husband. She said that apart from being given a crime reference number, the police haven't even called them regarding the investigation, and that crucial evidence from the night hasn't been collected, including fingerprint in the van, as the couple believe the attackers could have touched the side of the van. And although I can't see it in the video, it's claimed that Mr. Amin pulled the mask from one of his attackers during a struggle and it fell to the ground. However, they claim that when they showed it to the police, it was dismissed as evidence. Apparently, it just wasn't suitable for DNA and was disposed of by one of the police constables. Mrs. Amin said that the response officer, who was the person who got rid of the mask after about 2 months, came into the store to say that he was the officer in charge of the case. And my husband said, "You're the one who got rid of the DNA mask," and he apologised for that. The CCTV evidence apparently wasn't even collected by the police themselves on the night, and Mrs. Amin says that she was asked if she could find details of the attackers herself without putting herself in danger. After police finally took collection of the CCTV, the Amins claim that police mislaid it, so they had to send another copy. Following the string of alleged failures, Mrs. Amin contacted a local MP, who in turn contacted the police. She said that soon after, police arrived to collect a jacket that Mr. Amin was wearing that night, but she says, "I saw a little bit of movement, but then it went dead again." Mrs. Amin doesn't believe that police have even watched the CCTV, although she does accept that South Wales Police did share the footage in a public appeal, but she believes they only shared it due to her and her husband pushing and pushing. Mrs. Amin said she had contacted professional standards to formally make a complaint. Chief Inspector Chris Peters said, "We are sorry that the victims of this assault feels he has not had the services he expects to receive. This matter remains under active investigation." Interesting. Now, of course, we only have what has been said by the Amins to go on, but let's face it, it's not the first time police have wanted victims to do their own investigation. Nobody should be at fear of being attacked by any wannabe hard man. Clearly, the wannabe gangsters are nothing but a couple of bitch-ass pussies. 2 against 1, and even that failed, so they had to pull a blade. I mean, it doesn't say much for the youth of today, does it? Guaranteed they wouldn't have even thought about it if they were on their own or without a weapon to use. I simply don't get why kids these days even need to use a blade. Back in my day, it was always fists. I suppose that's why people my age generally don't worry about being tooled up. We can take a punch because we've had to. But I bet most of these idiots running around with weapons these days would go running home crying to mummy if they got a proper punch like we used to.